What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, more fun, more excitement from the museum, guys, today. Here on a Sunday, guys, got the coffee on, and it is time to get back into our time machine and go back to the year 1994. This is another M.I.B. time capsule video. And our figures today, we're going to be focusing on are very popular as a video game. I don't know how popular these were as action figures. Definitely not to the younger demographics back in 1994. Super cool though. Our Mortal Kombat figures. We have Johnny Cage, Raiden, and Scorpion. There were only 3 12-inch action figures made for this particular line. There was some 3 3/4-inch figures made back in 1994, but these were the 3 figures that were the flagship figures for the 12-inch line, for the Mortal Kombat line, back in 1994. Which seems like a really, really long time ago. I want to say I was, oh my goodness, I was 24 years old. So it was a long time ago, 1994. You do the math, guys. How old were you in 1994 when these figures came out? We're here now in 2025, and these figures are preserved perfectly. The collector that had this set did a phenomenal job. This is not my original set. I didn't have these figures when I was back in 1994. And I believe I knew they existed. I was more focused on G.I. Joe, because that is still right around the time G.I. Joe was just coming back out from 1991. So we were getting 12-inch G.I. Joe figures, and these guys are on the Hall of Fame bodies. So it was all Hall of Fame bodies back then. So this is before the more articulate bodies and super articulate bodies were made by HASBRO. And these are HASBRO figures. And let's start with Johnny Cage, one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Just a clean figure. You see, he comes with he's got a tattoo on his arm, and I believe here with a super punch and arm action. With super punch arm action, I think they all have some type of power punch or something feature, built into their mechanism, built into their arms. He came with a ton of equipment, accessories. He got a knife there. He's got 2 swords. He's got a stand. I believe they all came with stands, and we'll look at that. Got his shoes on. As you can see, our Johnny Cage is really locked in there. So like I said, I didn't get these guys back then. I didn't get these guys back then, but I wish I had. And I believe I even saw these guys in Toys R Us or wherever toys were being sold back then. I believe I ran across them. It was probably hard not to back in that time period. But Mortal Kombat was, this is about a year before the Mortal Kombat movie was released in 1995. And yes, I was at the premiere opening night of that movie, the Mortal Kombat movie. But this Johnny Cage figure, beautiful head sculpt. A lot of people did not, I guess looking at it now, because we didn't have much to, as far as G.I. Joe was concerned, to compare it to, because G.I. Joe was so newly released back then. You know, like I said, this is 1994. So the Hall of Fame bodies now, a lot of collectors don't like them. You know, if you historically look at all the bodies, you can compare all the bodies that Hasbro has put out for G.I. Joe over the decades. You know, the Hall of Fame bodies really got a bad rep, and I like them. They're, you know, real hefty. You can, like I said, you could back a truck over these figures, and probably they would withstand that. They're very durable figures. And I think they had that clicking action in the legs, where you could bend the knees at the joints. But if I'm wrong, guys, let me know. Do you have these figures? Do you remember these figures from 1994? Like I said, beautiful box art. You can't never go wrong with this logo. I mean, it's, you know, it's iconic now. Mortal Kombat. Johnny Cage. Get you a shot here. So it's got a spring action arm and martial arts weapons. Mortal Kombat, temporary tattoo inside. Oh, so you get a tattoo for your arm as well. So it's the same one that Johnny Cage has on his arm. And that's the cool part about this. But, you know, if if you know, you had this and you took it out the box, you probably would never know that. Well, I mean, if you took it out the box and you bought this loose, you know, if you had this, then you would know it. But that's the cool part about having, you know, keeping this stuff in the box, guys. Like I said, this is all history now. As we look at here, and you see all the three figures: Johnny Cage, Raiden, and Scorpion. I'm going to pause the video. And this is the little stuff right here. Like I said, the really cool things about the packaging. And this just shows you how to operate that power punch of his. Lift right arm and hold in place. Release arm to attack enemy and opponents. Oh, and this is for the tattoo, the big tattoo for you, you know, that you could use. Down here, this is the breakdown of his, you know, of his statistics, vitals, all that stuff. Really cool. And then here's the 3-inch tall figures that you can get. I would have loved to seen more 12-inch figures of some more characters. And Liu Kang, you almost had to have Liu Kang as a 12-inch action figure. Let's get you a year. I said 1994, and there it is, 1994. And that's our Johnny Cage. Here was the selling point for me of this whole set. And mind you, I was never going to buy these separately. even if I saw one available, I was never going to do that. I was always going to buy these as a set. And I was really fortunate and blessed that Capsule Collectibles, where I bought this set from, had the entire set, which absolutely made my day. Lord Rayden. Fantastic head sculpt. And where did I see this head sculpt? Has been used later on in the G.I. Joe line. There's his hat. There's his staff right here. Wooden staff. That hat there. And over here, his knife. He's got two swords. And, you know, let's see, he's got white shoes on. Clean. His white outfit is coming through super clean, and that's because it is super clean. No yellowing, no anything. Like I said, my hat's off to the collector who owned this set. Did a phenomenal job at taking care of his collectibles, because, like I said, once again, they're in phenomenal shape. Like I said, being from 1994, okay, wrap your mind around that. 1994. These figures are extremely, I speak from experience, because I always, like I said, I was always looking on the hunt within the last 10 to 12, 13 years. I was always on the hunt for this entire set. You know, so looking on eBay, secondary market is always going to be your best bet. But rarely did I ever find all three. Somebody would have one, or like Scorpion or Raiden or Johnny Cage, but I never saw all three being sold at the same time. And I never saw all of them together, like, you know, basically where I could buy one from one seller, another from another. It was always either a Raiden for sale, or a Johnny Cage for sale, or a Scorpion for sale, but not all at the same time, you know. So I wanted to buy them as a set, and I could never find them in the right condition, and I could never find them all at the same time. It was always different time periods when I would go on eBay and see that, you know, and it was rare. Like I said, it was so rare that it was very frustrating, to the point where I said, you know, I'm just going to give up. And I want to say in 2020, I found these on Capsule Collectibles, and I had to get them immediately before they got before somebody else grabbed them. But Raiden, out of all three, is my absolute #1 favorite. From the head, like I said, the head sculpt, what they did with the head sculpt, the eyes, everything. He looks very much like his video game arcade likeness. And I used to play that video game all the time. I remember Pizza Hut. I used to go into Pizza Hut, and when I was waiting on my pizza to be made, they had a Mortal Kombat video game in there, and, you know, put a few quarters in and had a lot of fun. But looking at these figures bring back fantastic memories. And we'll turn Raiden's box around. Side shot of the box here. All the way from 1994. Collect all the 12-inch Mortal Kombat fighters. The artwork, everything was beautiful. And here's the instructions on how to operate Raiden with the Thunder Punch arm. The little diagram of the figure. It's really cool artwork. And the stand, they're showing you how to use his stand. And there's some information on Raiden. He's eternal. Height 7 foot. He's a 7-footer. 350 pounds. He doesn't have any eyes. Nationality, Mystic does not apply. And this is a full breakdown of Raiden. Guys, your thoughts. Let's get you a year. 1994. HASBRO. Boy, HASBRO was really cooking back then. Your thoughts, your opinions. We want to hear it all. Which one's your favorite? Raiden, Johnny Cage, or Scorpion? Raiden's my favorite. Like I said, for a lot of reasons. Like I said, I just aesthetically, he looks really cool. As we go back in time, here's Scorpion. Let's get you over here, Scorpion. Another cool head sculpt. Now he has a spring action loaded gun. Harpoon launcher, really shoots. So this is a harpoon launcher, and I just feel like I've seen these weapons before. You know, Hasbro really reused their, their accessories and weapons and things of that nature a lot. But you have to say, from 1994, these were pretty much original. So anything after 1994, was probably being reused. But these are pretty much original with these sets. So he's got the harpoon launcher here. He has 2 swords and what looks like some type of a dagger. And look at the wrist gauntlets here on his arms. You can see the writing there on the gauntlets. The outfit, Scorpion, even down here, the shin guards. The whole outfit is just phenomenal. It's tough not to really think Scorpion is one of the coolest. And I'm sure he was a lot of collectors and fans' favorite. They should have made a Sub-Zero 12-inch Mortal Kombat figure. Scorpion, I guess it shows you Scorpion probably was one of the more cooler ones. I wonder who made that final decision back in 1994, 1993, when this was in pre-production and they're thinking about which characters to turn into 12-inch action figures from the Mortal Kombat line. Who made that decision? Who said it was going to be Scorpion, Johnny Cage, and Raiden? I'm just curious. Everything about Scorpion is cool, though. I'm looking at him extra. See, this is my problem. I don't handle these figures a lot. So it's very rare that I have them. And I want to say this is the first time that I think I've had all 3 on the stage at the same time. I could be wrong. If you've seen these guys on a video with all 3 of them together on the stage, Let me know in the comment sections right underneath this video, guys. But I don't think so. Periodically, I think they've all had their own separate videos, and they might have appeared in other videos, but not all together. So this might be that one special time that they're all on the stage together for this time capsule video moment. Get you a blown out look here. Box art, like I said, they kept it pretty much the same, uniform. But as you can see, some things had to be different because of the different weapons that were being used. And for this harpoon weapon, you know, they give you the instructions on how to use it. And this, you know, for the tattoo, the application of the tattoo and the figure stand. Everything else on here's his vitals and all that. He's 32. He's 6'2", height-wise. He's 210 pounds. And this gives you all of the background on Scorpion's life. An origin story, if you will. He was destroyed by the unmerciful ninja, Sub-Zero. So we don't even know what Scorpion's true name is. It's unknown at this point. I can't say enough about the artwork, though. Year here, 1994. This is just, like I said, guys, it's something I wanted to do. These time capsule videos are really cool. You know, it just shows a couple things, how old I've gotten, and, you know, how far the 12-inch line of action figures have really come since 1994. A timeline, if you will, for Hasbro with all of its 12-inch action figures lines. And what makes these guys even more special, like I said, is for the Mortal Kombat line, only 3 were produced at the 12-inch level. So that just made it that much more special. And now that Hasbro really doesn't do anything that much by way of G.I. Joe, and these were not considered G.I. Joes, but although a lot of collectors did consider these guys a part of the G.I. Joe 12-inch line, you know, but nevertheless, you know, they're all gone now, and they're all memories, you know. So if you have these guys in your collection, pull them out of your collection and take a look at them, guys. And where were you in 1994 when you were searching for these figures and when you had these figures? We want to hear all of that. We want to hear all of your stories from 1994 and your toy collecting and your Mortal Kombat history. And did you have the video game? Did you play it? Did you go to the movie? We want to hear all that, guys. It's M.I.B's Time Capsule 1994 Mortal Kombat 12-inch action figure line by Hasbro. You know the routine, guys. More fun on the way. God bless. Stay safe. And by all means, keep collecting.